All right. Welcome.
What is up, Patriot family?
Aly and I are both from our home studios today. And well, I don't know. We're thinking about labeling this episode Open Mic Unhinged because it has been a really busy past couple days, Aly. Do we tell people where we were yesterday? I mean, I'm not sure. They probably
I'm sure they all have seen it. Well, even if they haven't, we're going to tell you anyway, because that's what we do. We just do that, whether you
share
saw it or not.
share and overshare.
Only on certain things.
But Aly,
Yes.
I know, yeah, we're gonna get into all the things, current events, all of that. But guys, if we could just maybe be a little real and raw. We were talking before the show and the pre-show, we were talking about taking care of yourself, self-care, and maybe noticing when you might have too many irons in the fire, or you may just be like
Too many
on the
tabs open. Too many tabs.
That's me. Too
Too
many
many
tabs open in a second.
on your Google Sheets. Too many tasks in your teams.
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Are we there yet? I don't know.
We're hovering it. I feel like we're making out with that line right now. In a sense.
We stop making out with something. Scratch that. David, if you can grab that and just pull that down, that is not
Oh, that is funny.
flirting with that line. Okay, yeah.
Girl.
So
Yeah, we are. We really are flirting with that line. And it's funny because you had someone tell you, like, don't burn out. Like, be careful so you don't burn out. What did I
hate
say
that.
when we hopped on?
I literally hate
I was
that. I
like,
got the
we're
text
hugging
message.
this burnout line. It's true though. It's
That's
true. The ones that are like really about it and that actually like get the work done and we're doing the calls to action and we're
Yeah.
reading the legislation and we're telling people about it and we're informing the public and we're going out to all these places. We are the ones that are overworked and undervalued a lot of the time. And we do end up getting burnout. I had this conversation with a close friend of mine and essentially it went like, when you decide to give someone a discount or provide value with no reciprocation, they don't value you at all after that. He's like, it's like going to a restaurant and you get like this amazing sushi, but it's like it's not that expensive. And so you start to question, like, is the sushi really even real? Like, is this like real, like fresh caught sushi? Like, because it can't be this good and be that cheap, right? But then you go to another place and it's like astronomically expensive.
Yeah.
But the sushi's like, it's okay. But you're willing to be like, it's okay. I'll pay it. But it's okay. It's okay food, but I'll pay it because it was,
So it's like if you're giving away your gifts and your talent too much, then it's like it devalues it. Okay, so is that
Yeah.
the same do you think that's the same in like relationships that
Absolutely.
I don't like where this is
But
going.
only you have to know what your value is and you have to be able to assert it appropriately and properly. And those that don't see that value, they can go somewhere.
And that's why it was so funny when I got that message. You had just preached to me. You're like, don't burn
did.
out. Don't burn out. And I was like, and then my phone went, voot, voot, and this person was like, just take care of yourself and don't burn out. I'm like, fine.
No, but really we do. We need to be able to take care of ourselves. I know that like along that same lines, I live by that ethos, liberty's not free. It requires a very significant level of sacrifice. But I don't want to, to my detriment. I can't help anybody if my cup's not full. So you do need you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't. So
all right, Lord, we're asking for it. Fill us up. And you know what, guys, part of the reason why
I feel like this does that a little bit. As much as it drains us, because it's emotional and it's intellectual and it's heavy sometimes.
Yeah.
It pulls from you, it drains you, but it kind of also fills you because we're doing it together. So
isn't that how we felt yesterday when we were on our little road trip? We're like,
God.
it was exhausting leaving at 2, 3 a.m.
Girl.
But it was like, then we got
I don't even want to talk about it.
Okay. It was perfect. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and open the mic. I hope you're buckled in.
try to cancel you. MAGA nation, we cancel proof. My red hat stays on. My red hat stays on. You know I love God, but in Trump I trust. November 5th, he gon' ride with us. Our red hat stays on. Our red hat stays on. It's the mayor MAGA, but the RNC King. 2024, freedom gon' bring. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. I'm still fighting for each one of you. And keep your red hat on.
Keep your red hat on. Hey, my red hat is.
You know, mine is hanging up.
Yeah, I saw it. Do you have Donald Trump Boulevard behind you? I thought I saw that when I visited you.
I do.
That's really pretty awesome. Okay.
I need to get like I need to revamp this. This is going away.
Okay.
It's going to get revamped. So that I can actually put my Donald Trump sign up somewhere.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I had somebody joke and was like, "It's going above the bed, ain't it?" I was like, gross. No.
Do I know this
get
person?
your mind out my bedroom. Like, what are we talking about?
Bedroom. I'm gonna use that.
Like the audacity, some of these people that like you don't even know. Like I didn't even know you. I don't know you. First of all, like why
you like that?
Why would you say something like that? That is just outlandish. But then I'm the bitch when I like smack you.
Or my favorite part is, at the end. Never mind. We know what. It's not that show.
It could be. It could be. It could. This might be the most rated, the most watched
show because they're like, are these women talking about dating? I can kind of. I don't know. I feel like
politics, ladies.
There's a lot of people that are in the same boat as us, though. I was just at a meeting. At night,
you're running for school board. Go girl.
No, yeah, and a lot of people are talking about like, it's tough out here. It's tough out here. That's all I'm saying. What'd you say? Something
it's
about
hard out
running?
here in these streets.
It is. All right, guys. We'll give you a little.
I ain't in the street. I'm in my house.
I'm in my house. I'm not out here in the street.
I'm on.
Aly and I yesterday took the trip to Fort Pierce, Florida. Ivan, it was a joy speaking to you yesterday. But if you don't know, now you know that in Fort Pierce, Florida, which is really a southern district here in Florida on the East Coast, we basically went right straight across the state.
Yep.
Nearly missed a deer
at like 4 a.m.
But Aly, that's the second time you and I have been traveling through the
know.
middle of the state
and almost hit a deer.
Literally,
like inches away,
like inches.
And I was driving a massive truck, which I loved. Oh, it was
it? It was an F-250 Super Duty. We felt like it was diesel. We were like,
and I was hauling. I'm sorry.
No, she wasn't, sir. In your car. No, she wasn't, sir.
I wasn't. I was doing the speed limit.
But
except when I was behind the truck that was going too slow. I cannot confirm nor deny.
Nope. We're going to take that one to the grave with us, Aly. But in Fort Pierce, there is in the courthouse there, the federal courthouse, there is there was a grand jury, I guess, panel. They're basically picking who the jurors are going to be.
Right.
I guess is the layman's way of us describing that.
Jury selection. Impeachment. It's the same thing. Like it just makes you sound smarter. Impeachment.
Jury selection. For those of us that have been and like on this show, we've been talking about how we want to see indictments, we want to see perp walks, we want to see people arrested.
Where's Medea when you need her?
For some of the things that have happened in Crossfire Hurricane against Donald Trump, with really in 2017 with the Russia disinformation, the hoax that took place. We now know this through DNI, Tulsi Gabbard. She has come out and released the documents that show that. So what happened is, like in August of last year, guys, President Donald Trump nominated to the Southern Florida district here, U.S. Attorney Jason Redding. How do you say the last name again, Aly? You say it better than I do. Quinones. He was in office for 1 month, guys, and he decided, you know what? We're going to create a grand jury down in the South District of Florida there. We're going to look into all the evidence and determine, is there a case here So, Aly, you took to social media and you really had a plea to people to really pray about this because this is done
Yes.
differently. Like you have to make sure why don't you go ahead and explain why it's so important that we
So
are in prayer over this? Yeah.
it's important to pray for accountability because if the grand jury convenes and all the evidence is presented by the lawyer, which is Quinones, and the attorney, if they present all of the evidence, the state, right? They present all the evidence, and the jury does not find the evidence sufficient enough to bring charges, i.e., a subpoena or an indictment, then the case dies and they have to go back and start from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't know how many times you can do that. I'm not a lawyer, so don't take, I mean,
Well,
whatever.
and
Take it with
part
a
of
grain of salt and do your own research. But I do have lawyer friends, and we just had this conversation. So,
yeah.
yeah, it's back at square one. And then how many times are you allowed to do that, right? Like, at what point? But I
Well,
do
and
believe that there should be something. It just,
well, we we believe obviously when you take a look at J6 and other things, people that didn't really get a fair trial or a fair
not at
take at
all.
things, we believe in due process. So I guess for all the times that we complain about wanting to see, people held accountable, this is the first step. And
Mhm.
so we really just, you're excited to see this take off and have this happen, but then you also get nervous because you're like, oh my gosh, don't mess it up.
Because it's hard to trust the court system when the court system has shown that it has significant failures when you have judges that legislate from the bench instead of operating within their lane and confines of the law.
Yeah.
It's disheartening. And like General Flynn says, until we start to, and even Anna Paulina Luna,
Yeah.
until you
Oh yeah.
start to see people in handcuffs, the trust is going to wane. And until the DOJ and the FBI can come out and have press conferences about the things that they're doing daily or weekly, at least weekly. We've arrested this many people this week. We've
Yeah.
done this week concerning this process or this situation. We've done this. Like there needs
Yeah.
to be a weekly update for the people because 77 million of us, right?
Yeah.
77 million
Huge
of
amount.
us,
Yeah.
we voted. We gave a mandate on November
Overwhelmingly.
5th, and it was for transparency, accountability, and America first. And when we're not seeing that, you're going to get people that are just tired. Our
Well, and
patience is waning.
I think that even discussing publicly what's taking place here down in the Southern District of Florida, listen, there were not a lot of people covering this. Aly and
Sis,
I were like,
nobody is covering it.
and that's what I'm saying. How so? And so when I was at the meeting the other night, and I'm talking about this and how we covered it, and they were getting excited. They were getting like excited, like, okay, maybe something might happen. I didn't know that was happening. I didn't, because again, if you're not on X and you're not following like Ivan Raiklin and all the other, then do you know this
You're
is
in the
taking
dark.
place?
Like,
Yeah,
and this is what's crazy is that X, although only 7% of Americans are on X, that is where all of the news comes out of. We are literally in spaces on Wednesday and Thursday nights and Tuesday nights,
yeah,
even on Monday nights, where we hear things that the legacy media will pick up months
months later, like when when they
later.
have a narrative. That's yeah. Well, guys, keep it locked here since apparently we're the only ones that are really heavily covering that story. We'll keep you updated when we hear something. You'll know about it.
And
Aly,
honestly, you guys, if you like what you are hearing and you really think that you're getting value from it, don't just tune in. Share it, like it,
yeah,
subscribe,
subscribe.
donate. Whatever you can.
Yeah,
Whatever you can do to get the message out and show us that you value us, I think is important too. Because we value you guys.
absolutely.
We're doing this not just for us because we like to talk. I would rather text than talk, honestly. But I'm kidding. I love the face to face. But
Love it. Love it.
we don't do this just for us. We're not doing this to like talk for a living. Like we're really
Right.
just trying to inform the public of what is actually going on here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Aly, I want to pivot to really unfortunate terror that took place in
Oof.
Los Angeles. When I saw this video, Aly, I saw all of the Iranian flags and I thought, is it like a protest for people that are like pro-Iran? And then when you read about it, you hear about it, you realize, these were people that were protesting in support of those that are protesting in Iran.
Their
So it's not the
freedom.
regime. Yeah, they stand behind the people. But
Right.
then take a look at this video. This was really just horrific. Take a look.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. Holy effing shiitake mushrooms. 1000%.
So she said it twice. I just thought we'd
Double down.
double down. That is a U-Haul truck running through the middle of the street while this peaceful protest, just standing in support of the men and women in Iran that are laying their life on the line to protest against the Ayatollah. And really, they're tired of living under this this Islamic regime. They really want to go back to like their Persian roots, right? Like they haven't been this Islamic state for very long.
It's only been 40, what is it, like less than 50 years, 47 years they've been under this regime. And so you have grandparents.
Persian.
Yeah, you have grandparents that remembered what it was like before then. And then you have parents that have had their lives taken. Like you know what I mean? You have parents that remember what it was like to be free and then were oppressed. And then you have kids, that's all they know is oppression. So that's thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people have taken to the streets and have completely burned down mosques and replaced the Islamic regime flag and replaced it with the actual flag with the lion and the sun in the background of the lion holding a sword. It's absolutely amazing. And then you have this iconic photo of this young Iranian woman, beautiful girl, and she's lighting a cigarette as she has the Iranian president photo is on fire. And it's just, it literally reminds me of like a Star Wars episode.
Okay, I got it right here. I knew I
it's
could.
So amazing.
I knew I could find it. Let me.
It is amazing. It's so badass. I love it. I love it. I love when women are able to stand in their power. That keeps me going. If we can inspire more women to stand in their power and speak up, and this is what I'm noticing too. It was the moms who stood in 2020 against tyranny here in America. It was moms who have been standing against tyranny when it comes to the pharma cartel. It has been moms who have been standing against the insurgency, right? That we were seeing the over heavy hand of the DOJ. And it's the women in Iran that are standing up against tyranny. There was this one woman she's bleeding from her mouth, and she's like, I've bled I've bled for years. I will bleed more for my freedom.
These are women that they've been told to cover from head to toe because if a man is at all intrigued by you, it's your fault and you deserve what you get. And you should have had every inch of skin and hair and everything covered. I mean, it's slavery, right? That's exactly what it is. 100%. There, you have to, in order to claim rape, you have to have, I think it's 2 witnesses to corroborate it. Same with a divorce, I believe, and don't quote me on that part, but that's just something I was hearing the other day on a different show. So you know. I don't know where all the women's lib people are. I don't know where
at the age of 9. They're married at the age of 12. Like.
They're married off at the age of 6. I saw that on.
Oh wow!
Netflix has a thing on it. I'm not saying I recommend watching it because it'll make you want to move just to take some people down. But Aly, so as that U-Haul is plummeting through the peaceful protests showing support for the people in Iran, I love that Laura Loomer, she took to the airwaves, I guess, and said. Her friend translated, this was the sign that was on the side of the U-Haul. It's a Farsi sign, and it says basically, no Shah, no regime, USA, don't repeat 1953. So that's proof that the people that are driving this through the protest are obviously not in favor of what's going on in Iran. They don't want to see people rise up and overthrow their government there. Not government. It's a dictatorship. So this is an Iranian terrorist attack that happened on our soil.
That's what I was just going to say when I saw this happen. I was like, who is like this is really common with. It's really common with terrorist organizations out in the Middle East. They ram cars into crowds of people.
Yeah.
We There have been several soft targets that have been looked at in the state of Florida for these specific attacks. And it's not just Florida, just so you know.
No, but it is red states. I mean, Texas.
Right.
You know,
It's everywhere because they're here because of the open border. So I hope whoever did this gets what's coming to them.
there is another video here, and I do apologize. I want to show
Gosh,
it.
do you know how many people were hurt?
Well, and that's what I'm trying to get. This reports of multiple injuries is the last that I've heard.
Okay.
Again, we've been on the road for the last
thanks
day.
to Nick Sorter and Laura Loomer for this. This is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's not NBC out there right now showing this. This is another. I haven't seen this video, you guys, so I'm just going to give you a little bit of a heads up. It appears to be the immediate aftermath of that. Like if you can imagine, just a lot of chaos. Let's take a look. I apologize if there's any language.
Foul language.
Trying to get the drivers out. I think.
Wow.
This is not the Middle East. This is in the United States of America.
And the cops are like trying to.
Well, they're saying we got him
in the car.
Yeah, right. Because they're
for
saying
safety reasons, right? Because you don't want to hand them in over to the mob.
But if I'm out on the side of the street and you just pummeled over like my loved ones,
no, that's normal human reactionary
You can
behavior.
understand. But I think the cops are just trying to like say we've got it and trying to keep them there. So they did detain them. I have not heard anything. I haven't heard anything about their.
I haven't either. This is the problem though. There's so much going on that I don't think the news cycles can keep up. And mind you, it always begs the question, what are we being distracted from? What is bigger and who benefits for everyone being distracted? None of this is new. This is the same playbook they've had since 2020. Why? Because it works. It drives a very specific narrative, and it's not a narrative of injustice. It's a narrative of consequences. They don't want consequences for the actions that they choose to take. That is what these, except for this one here, because this was just support for the Iranian freedom.
I did find a recent article. This just came out, looks like 4 hours ago. It says charges. This is coming out of Westwood, which is a suburb of Los Angeles. Charges are pending against a man who was taken into custody after allegedly. I mean, there's video. Driving.
I'm glad we're saying allegedly.
I'm glad he's allegedly, but the J6ers weren't allegedly anything, right? So
no, they were just guilty. Like,
for allegedly driving a U-Haul truck into a crowd of protesters marching in support of the anti-government demonstrations in Iran. The truck plowed through the crowd near the federal building. A man was struck by the truck, but they're saying did not sustain significant injuries, which was treated. 2 people were evaluated at the scene. The driver was injured in an altercation with some of the other protesters. Well, no shit. Like, maybe you don't. I mean, you think that's going to end?
You don't drive a U-Haul truck. It's the same concept with ICE. Maybe don't. Quickly. Oh God, I can't.
Sorry.
The lack of intelligence that people have is just. And then so I was watching Gutfield the other night, and he had mentioned like if your private life and your public life are not the same, you're not genuine. And he was essentially saying, for this woman who was what is her name?
I don't remember her name. You're talking about the one in Minnesota, right?
Yeah. So she like had left her kids somewhere at like daycare. She was going to go out and protest, and like no, like he's like, where are all your friends at? Where are all the people that claim that they love you, telling you like you should not be doing this? Like you are supposed to follow the law. Like you don't go and harass law enforcement. Like you just don't do that. You don't impede
Yeah.
law enforcement. That is a crime. What are you doing? You should be at home taking care of your babies, not out
Yeah.
protesting law enforcement. Like on a day where you should be either trying to find a job or in order for you to like support your kids, like and I'm not trying to be misogynistic with this because we get this a lot too, like how or why are you in politics? You should be at home like making a sandwich. Like no, that's different.
A sandwich sounds really good right now. I'm just gonna say.
I'm just saying.
If anybody wants to DoorDash, just say.
Like fresh turkey with lettuce and tomato and mayo on lettuce, crispy lettuce on crispy bread. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Oil and vinegar, oregano, and salt.
My address is. No, I'm just kidding.
No, facts. Jimmy John's later? Yes, absolutely. Sponsored by No Kidding. No, but like I understood that. I was just like, wow, he was like, we need all the liberal women in the nation to like do this thought process, this thought experiment. Like if you honestly, like for real, sis, if you were to tell me, like I'm asking you, hey, what are your plans this weekend or your plans for tomorrow? And you're like, I'm going to go protest ICE. I'm going to be like, wait, hold on, sit down.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that because we had quite a few ICE protesters here this past Saturday, including one of our school board members. Right? Like, and here's the thing. If you don't like ICE for like whatever reason.
ICE.
Where were we?
ICE.
Drove by in that car.
Like
we were singing that car. They were singing that song. We were like, anyway. Wow, we digress. We are.
That's how you know you're MAGA. Like America First. Like you just play the song, and then whoever you see dancing is they're like, oh, we're friends.
Okay, you're not offended. I like that. If you're gonna protest ICE, what I envision is like signs and like some chants that are probably really funny to me because I don't share that viewpoint, and maybe like a lot of people on a sidewalk, even though you're not supposed to impede like the sidewalk, even you still have to leave room for people to walk by, at least in the state of Florida. That's what I envision. I don't envision somebody parking their car in what has to be a very cold day. Like, what are you even doing out? I remember those days when I lived in Illinois. Nobody wants to be out. Like, so you're out and you got your car parked sideways, and then the guy's coming over and he's like, trying to talk you off the ledge, and you're like, she's smarting off, and then the other woman's smarting off, and then they're just and then the dog's in the back. So you brought your dog. Like, where's the animal agencies?
Control people.
Well, no, just she put him in danger because when that bullet flew, like that poor dog didn't ask for that. You know what I mean? Like
he could have.
PETA, thank you.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Sarah McLachlan that commercial.
I know, because that's the song they use.
And so you hate to see a life lost. You hate to see a life lost. But this is why, like, Aly and I will even say, like, what are you doing this weekend? Or what are you doing this evening? What are you doing tonight? And like your friends and your family are the people that love you are supposed to be like, okay, make sure you Uber or make sure you walk out to your car with somebody, or wait, what? You're going to protest something? Don't do that. Like, I don't know. They just,
you know what this reminds me of? Remember that protest, the BLM riot that occurred, and the mom, she found out that he was out there. He was supposed to be at school, and she saw him on the TV, and she like went out there and snatched him up, and she had to do like this apology tour. She went on like this tour of like all the news media. It was like,
sorry that I slapped him
through your mind. I smacked the crap out of my son because he knows better. He shouldn't be out there in the street getting involved with all this. Listen, that's a mama right there. That is a good woman.
That is a good woman. Well, and the unfortunate thing is that
you need a friend like that in your life that's going to snatch you up. Like, no, ma'am, sit down. You need to go fill out a couple applications to make sure that you can actually, have your children.
And here's the thing, Aly, I really believe that no matter what your ideology is, I mean, some people say that being America First is an ideology. I think it's constitutional and it's our founding, but whatever.
1,000%
whatever your ideology is We say there are things worth dying for, like as far as our children, our families, our morals, our country. Like, yes, there are definitely things, but this is the hill you want to die on? Blocking and impeding ICE from going in and getting criminals
who are
Let's forget about
stealing your tax dollars to fund terrorist organizations overseas that have sleeper cells in America that could ultimately just explode something. Like the circle jerk is insane. It's insanity. That's the only.
Aly said that in the car, and I was mid-drink.
Thank you.
And literally, have you ever felt like you're gonna die from drowning and all you have is water in your mouth? Aly, I've never felt that, but it was like I'm drowning in my Aquafina. Like it was.
I don't know where it comes from. It's out, and I'm like,
Aly, I don't think that's not okay. Okay. Anyway, so let's pivot a little bit. We want to just give
like,
our
Aly, in 2026, you said this.
Yes, and I meant it.
Yeah.
There's the Office of DNI is talking about how 2025 was a bad year for the deep state. They're thanking the president, Tulsi Gabbard, obviously. They're saying she produced win after win for the American people.
She's doing a great job.
She is doing a great job. And when
I think she could be, I'll keep that one in my pocket.
So this is an exclusive of how Tulsi Gabbard reformed already in 2025 is reform.
Wow.
I would say reforming. I think it still is in a work in progress, but you guys can check this out by going to WashingtonReporter.news. And type in exclusive in the search bar. You can read the entire article there, but it's kind of cool.
Good.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Yes.
She's doing a fantastic job, guys.
Fantastic. You sounded so Trumpish like that. Fantastic.
Yeah, I was going to say something like drop something in the comments, but I don't even know. My brain's not working.
We're burning both ends of the candle, like, or the stick, whatever. You know what I mean.
We're at like the little itty bitty nub. Not like that much left.
There might be a nap in our future is all I'm going to say. So if you're asking the question now that we've talked about what's taken place over in Iran, obviously what happened in LA with what I'm calling as a terror attack there, but so you might be wondering, what do the people of Iran feel right now? What is their thought on, what is their opinion on somebody like Trump coming out publicly and saying, we support the people of Iran to be able to freely protest, don't lay a hand on them. Take a look. This is Iran's exiled crown prince. He sent a powerful message to Trump on Trump's stand to basically give Iranians the courage to continue what they're doing. It was a wonderful, heartfelt message from the former
Mr. President,
crown prince.
You have already established your legacy as a man committed to peace and fighting evil forces. There is a reason why people in Iran are renaming streets after your name. They know that you are totally opposite to Barack Obama or Joe Biden. They know that you're not going to throw them under the bus as they have had before. This is why they believe that this time they are empowered by the hope that you have their back. Your words of solidarity with the Iranian people and your administration has had tremendous positive effect. Let's hope that we can permanently seal this legacy by liberating Iran so that we and you can make Iran great again.
Wow.
And you know, somebody in the comment section here chimed in and said a lot of the neighboring Muslim Middle Eastern countries are really staying silent. But you know who's not staying silent? Is Israel. They've come out and said, listen, we might have our differences, but the people of Iran deserve to be free. That is huge.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think Israel is the only free nation out there in the Middle East.
Yeah.
You don't have another one.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
and so of course, for them to stand with the people of Iran is amazing. I think that is, it's not just good for policy, but it's good for partnership. It's good for trades. It's good for business. It's good for the benefit of the people in that region, and ultimately beneficial for Americans when we have sovereignty in other countries, which is why Luna wants to create this sovereignty alliance, this alliance of sovereign nations,
yeah,
because
makes sense.
we have an alliance of people, elites that want to globalize tyranny. They don't want you sovereign. They don't want you as a sovereign human person. They don't want you as a sovereign nation. They
State.
don't, right. So
Even
to
your
have
body,
the
even your
antithesis
body, they
of that,
violated and said it wasn't sovereign, right? Because you have to
right.
pump stuff in it.
So I think it is it's pertinent, and it's the time is now. 2026, tyranny will
Yeah,
fall.
I
And
believe it.
this is why they're mad, right, at Trump, because he is bucking the system. He's
Well,
like,
and what
absolutely
better
not.
what a better year than when we celebrate our 250th and birthday. I mean, I think it's like a reigniting
That is
of
not by
the
mistake.
liberty that we declared, right, in 1776. And you're right. We talked about this on our road trip a bit, but in about another 8 days, I think, I don't know what day it is. Trump will be traveling to Davos, Switzerland,
Yep.
with a whole team, and people have been like, "Oh, he's going
Oh,
there."
we're gonna break this down. I can't wait till this.
He's going with the deep state. He's going to be over there, and and I'm like, no, he's going there to tell them this is the new way
This is
forward.
how we're doing it. Like, you have not seen him like actually mean what he says and
We are
do the
not.
opposite of what like everyone else has done? You
Yeah,
have not seen that?
We're not bowing a knee to the UN. We're not bowing a knee to the World Health Organization. We're not bowing a
No,
knee
no,
to the
no.
World Economic Forum. All these globalist, one world government, deep staters are realizing that Trump is saying, no, we're taking back our sovereignty. And it's amazing.
Yes.
What
It's
do you
absolutely
think,
amazing.
Aly, and those of our viewers there? When I'm hearing Trump talk about Greenland, which I had the pleasure of visiting. It's beautiful. In my earlier years. What do you think about all this talk about Greenland with President Trump? Like, is it a Western Hemisphere thing? Is he kind of talking about the Monroe Doctrine? Well, why don't we listen to him talk about it, and then you and I will kind of try to break it down.
Okay.
Let me break it down. It sounded like I was rapping there for a minute. All right, so this is President Trump. Obviously,
I have Rio stuck in my head when you said it. So
oh, that's Caroline Levitt, I believe, in there with him. This is him talking about Greenland.
They can offer you for a deal?
If we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will, and I'm not letting that happen. If we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will take Greenland, and I am not going to let that happen.
Is there any deal they can offer you? Either like
So he's saying there, if we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will, and I'm not letting that happen.
right.
I had to scroll down to see some of the comments.
We defend them. We're already in Greenland and we provide them security. There's not a huge population there.
I just don't know enough. Oh my gosh, that's so funny, Aly. I don't know enough about. Okay, so just the same way that in Venezuela, we had China and Russia and Iran and Hezbollah coming into Venezuela and really they were primed to launch attacks on us, I think, from there, and just meddling in the Western Hemisphere against the Monroe Doctrine. So I can imagine that that's kind of what they're thinking here with Greenland. But they were talking about Greenland a year ago. And I thought it was a joke.
Like why everybody is like up in arms about it now because he said it now, like after he's taken Venezuela. Like I just, the outrage is, I'm getting so tired of it.
Well, and so I did find one post, and I think they kind of explain it very well. If you don't mind, guys, I hate when I like read to you, but it's very small print. So I just want to read this to you.
Like Bales.
Denmark and Greenland envoys do not walk into the White House unless something serious is on the table. And they did
Mhm.
walk into the White House. They certainly do not follow it up with Marco Rubio meetings unless there's a strategic objective already moving through the channels.
Think
This is
about it.
classic. This is classic Trump. Quiet leverage first, strategic pressure second, public
Yes.
resolve last, which means there's already something in the way that he's
Yes.
selling and on board with. We are finding out about it now. Greenland is not about real estate, this person says. And let me give him credit. This is Mike Bales. Greenland is not about real estate. It's about Arctic dominance,
Dominance.
energy security, missile
Missile
defense, shipping lanes, rare
Yes.
earth minerals, and cutting off Russia and China at the knees before they lock down the North Atlantic and Arctic routes. Do you understand? There are routes
Yes.
traveling through there.
Yes.
Whoever
He's
controls
extremely precise.
Greenland controls the high ground of the next century. Russia knows it, China knows it. That's why they are furious already. 4 decades. America talked while our adversaries moved. Trump flips the script. He moves while other talks. Then he tells the world exactly what's happening. If this deal gets done, apparently, it redraws the global chessboard overnight. NATO security hardens. Chinese expansion stalls. Russia Arctic ambitions shrink fast. America first means thinking 20 years ahead and not reacting 20 years too late. This is leadership. This is strategy. This is strength. Time to
1,000% this
acquire
is strategy.
Greenland. Time to acquire Greenland.
And it's already in the works. By the time we hear it, by the time it comes out his mouth, it's already in the works, you guys. Like this, the way that Trump operates is very, very, very strategic. You do not become a multi-billionaire
Mhm.
and don't know how to make deals that are beneficial for everyone involved. He is like the Godfather. I will offer you a deal that you cannot refuse. Listen, it's the same. Same. That's why we call him the Don. You guys have not
The Don.
words in the English language matter. Okay.
Hey, so did you know, according to Wikipedia, which take that with a grain of salt, but just some
the heavily edited version of
Just some
Wikipedia.
history, though. After World War II, the United States secretly offered to buy Greenland. Did you know
Mhm.
that? In
I did not.
2019, President Donald Trump in 2019 described his intentions to purchase the country as an essential real estate deal. That was in 2019. We know what they did in 2020. They launched COVID. They fixed an election.
Yep.
And so
Because
he's
the globalists had other plans. Because they did not count on President Trump.
they didn't. And
They've tried to assassinate him.
And this is part of the rise in the British Empire that never wanted us to have our independence anyway. When you have an exceptional country like America, unless you are the only person, the sole beneficiary of that wonderful continent known, of that country, unless you're the person who's making money and in power and reaping the benefits of that, these globalists do not like that, because when we all rise, when our tide of MAGA and America First rises all of our boats, the deep state, the one world government people, the globalists, they cannot stand that, because you're actually taking from them. That's the way they view it.
Yep.
This was a George Carlin had it right. That comedian. It's a closed club, and you're not in it.
Yep.
You're not a part of it. So it should be kind of interesting. Keep it locked here. We'll
I'm
definitely
excited to see what comes of that. And if you want more information, you guys can always join Trump Tuesday. That's today. Let me find today at 8. They'll be talking about Venezuela. They'll also be talking about Greenland. They'll be talking about I believe Minnesota. The state of Minnesota is suing ICE. So there's going to be lots of conversation in there. So make sure you follow at Mark Naughton and at Crypto Lawyers. And I always forget James R. I think it's Real Politics at Real Politics.
Perfect. Yeah, make sure you follow them.
8 p.m.
Going to pivot to my favorite, my absolute favorite, Laura Logan. She interviewed the CIA officer. His name's Gary Bernstein, who's talking here specifically about Smartmatic, the electronic voting machines. They did have an office in Caracas, Venezuela. In a meeting I just left last night, you guys, finding out even here in the state of Florida, some of your states are trying to push legislation that would completely do away with a paper ballot or any trail of a paper ballot. Y'all need to check your legislative session, check the bills that are going in because they're going in silently. But take a listen. Again, this is just CIA officer who worked in this division, Gary Bernstein. Take a listen to what he had to say on Laura Logan.
Well, the important thing to understand here is that Smartmatic has its office in Caracas, and it's co-located with the Consejo National Electoral, the National Electoral Commission. And there's 150 Smartmatic engineers and 150 CNE engineers side by side. They have two missions. Number one, steal elections. Number two, defeat audit. Study audit. How do different states and different localities
do
conduct
their
audit
audits
so that when they're audited, you defeat audit? An example, when people put absentee ballots on a scanner, it'll take a picture and take a picture and take a picture. And then when it's about to save them, it gets ready to take a picture of almost 100 together. But what it does is they erase that picture, send in another picture, because all these machines are connected to the internet. They're all hooked up. They're not supposed to be. A new picture comes in, 100 votes or 90% for the person that they want.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do the audit, you're not allowed to look in the box.
Mm-hmm.
You have to look at the screens.
Freaking
They've
sense
changed
at all.
the rules around the country in the different states that make it almost impossible to show that they cheated because of, and what they do also is they'll make proprietary the source code. You can't examine that. You can't look at different types of technologies proprietary, because that's where they're cheating.
That's
Bro, try to do that crap with your taxes and tell the government that they can't look in your bank account. They can only look at
I don't have the
screen
receipts.
capture.
I don't have the receipts. I don't know. I mean, think about it. I grew up in an era where people had their paper bags with their different receipts separated into like whatever their tax write-offs were. You didn't play around with the government. Well, you don't play around with our elections. And listen, this is and here's why this matters, because depending on what your state's doing, obviously Aly and I live in a very red state, right? Ron DeSantis all the way. But if there's people within our legislature that are trying to push already a bill that I just found out today to do going completely to machines, doing away with any paper ballots, doing away with the way that they audit. It's exactly what he's talking about here in a red state. So what's going to happen as Trump continues to dial in when he wants to do away with mail-in ballots? He wants to go the opposite direction. That's why we say there's not every Republican is MAGA. Not every Republican is America First. Not every Republican wants Trump to win. Some of them want to be just as shady as those on the left. And that's why I think that's where you end up with these kind of stupid bills like what we have in Florida.
Yeah, that we have the stupid bills, and then we have bills that won't get passed. Like literally one that is currently sitting on John Thune's desk that's been sitting there for 9 months called the SAVE Act, and they won't pass it. So, or bring it to the floor for a vote. So like, what are you even worth the R for? Like, you should just redesignate your registration and claim Democrat, because
More reporting from CIA whistleblowers. Take a listen.
I know y'all are laughing. Those of y'all that caught what I just did.
Retired, very senior. He looked me in the eye and said, the truth of the matter is we took the playbook for psychological operations and information warfare that we would use against our enemies, and we turned it against the American people to undo the 2016 election and to make sure they didn't elect Donald Trump in 2020. Now, that is a senior intelligence officer with more than 30 years of experience, a patriot who served in some of the most dangerous parts of the world. And he understood that the tactics of making something fake look real were ripped right out of our intelligence communities. Our intelligence agencies not only harmed Donald Trump, they were harming the American public, the national security interests of the American public.
And that's so, Aly, we joke when we say things about like Trump derangement syndrome. But think about it. This is exactly the type of weaponry we've done towards other countries where you can, I mean, our military, like it or not, has done many things, including, MK Ultra with cooperation from the intelligence communities.
Project Mockingbird.
Yeah, but if you think about it, what he's saying here is like a senior CIA official, former official for 30 years, is talking about things that they've done to the American people to make us so unrealistic or just not where you can't wrap your head around common logic. Think about how deranged these people are just at the mention of Trump. Just you could package something, and we've done this before on our show. We did it right before the election. You could play a soundbite and not say who said it, or I could actually read it to you. Here's the words of what somebody said about a strong southern border.
Mhm.
And somebody could sit there and shake their head and goes, I totally agree with that. Now, you don't know if it was like, early Clinton or is it current Trump, because they
Mhm.
sounded very similar. What's the
Mhm.
difference? All things Trump are bad, according to people. That is a
That's the
mental
narrative. It
brain.
is. I've spoken to several psychologists and intellects about this, and we're literally going back and forth. Like we've never seen anything like this take hold. It is absolutely
mind virus.
just it's astonishing, and it's disorienting because you're like, how did you get there, and what is the barrier? Like, please tell me, because I want to help you. You're like in some serious trouble and we need to figure out what is going on. And I'm like, what is the antidote? For every virus there's an antidote. And it gets scary when you start talking about what the antidote could be, because you're like, oh, we gotta like separate them and like kind of you gotta get rid of all of the brainwashing. And how do you do that? You have to isolate.
But part of
Scary.
what I actually think this is what Charlie Kirk did the best. He understood that you embrace, like, you have to almost embrace them. And I just went through this with somebody after the meeting last night that I was at, because we always have these meetings with like certain Republican clubs or whatever, and there's always people standing outside that don't agree, whatever. But instead of just shouting defamatory things, it's like, I'm sorry, what did you say? So what are you talking about? Oh, ICE, you don't really care that much about ICE. Okay, so you would let like an illegal live in your house? Like, oh, so you don't sleep with your doors locked? Huh? You don't sleep with your doors locked, but yet you don't want us to lock the door to our southern border? That's really weird. And it's that poking the narrative of having that conversation that makes them kind of like, oh my gosh.
And Charlie Kirk was amazing at it. I think people need to study the way he was able to communicate, because it's very helpful in changing the narrative. It is very helpful in inoculating, right, this virus.
It's called the Socratic method. You guys should look it up. It's very it's amazing.
Really good.
So
I have a book on Socrates.
Is going to make your blood boil.
Absolutely.
26 Republican senators voted against codifying the DOJ foreign aid cuts. 20 plus GOP senators refused to sponsor the SAVE Act, which would require proof of citizenship for voting. These 13 are on both lists. These are 13 senators that won't codify DOJ cuts, basically Department of Government Efficiency, and they will not make sure that only U.S. citizens can vote. John Barrasos from Wyoming, John Boozman from Arkansas. You've got Bill Cassidy from Louisiana, Susan Collins from, that's not any shocker. Deb Fisher from Nebraska, Chuck Grassley from Iowa. Chuck Grassley has been the one that's been helping people so much with human trafficking. This just goes to show they're right on some things and wrong on the other. Mitch McConnell, is he still
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't know, because he was he was like Biden-ish. Like I didn't know if he was still around. Jerry Moran from Kansas, Lisa Murkowski from Arkansas, Pete Ricketts from Nebraska, Mike Rounds from South Dakota,
And
John
Thune
from South Dakota, and Todd Young from Indiana. What do you notice? Okay, so
wait, isn't there more? There's more than that in
those
this
are the
photo.
13 that are on both lists.
Oh, okay, on both lists.
Yeah, so this picture is going to show you specifically
That's just DOJ funding and spending.
Look at that. His name is his name Crapo?
Where?
Here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
People are gonna know his name now.
I'll be older than 12. Lindsey Graham. Chuck
Not
Grassley.
surprised. Rick Scott.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we might have to
Tillis.
make
Not
phone-
surprised. Ricketts. Hyde Smith. Langford.
What is their reasoning? Do you ever wonder that, guys? Do you ever wonder what is their
Yes,
reasoning?
I want to. You know what? I think there needs to be, and I'm gonna tap James O'Keefe. There needs to be an investigation into their finances. Why else would you want taxpayers to fund foreign aid? That funds things that are against the America's interests.
Well, and are they also arguably the same people who don't want to ban insider trading?
Probably.
I mean,
I can
I would love
almost
to
guarantee
see.
it. I would bet money on that. I want to know, because there has to be a reason. There has to be a reason. It's the same thing with them not passing, with them. I don't know if these are the same people, but I'm pretty sure some of them are that didn't want to end Obamacare subsidies. Like, because they're beholden by the insurance companies within their state. So if you're beholden by the insurance companies and within your state, you're not going to pass something that's going to strip them of their funding, right? And if you're beholden by the pharmaceutical cartel, you're not going to agree with no mandates. And changing of the vaccine schedules and reframing of food. And if you have interest or stock in the FDA or in certain food corporations, and they have to revamp or redo what their ingredients are and lose money or get whatever that is, you're going to be beholden to them and not vote for something like that. How is that different than what is being claimed of having, like, for example, an arms business and you're selling arms to foreign nations? What the hell is the difference? There's no difference. It's the same thing.
So much to clean up, so little time, guys. Listen, we don't really have anything extremely funny today, I guess, Aly, but I found this and I thought this was kind of cute. Of course, somebody's probably going to take it a little bit unhinged because it's just a joke. But Donald Trump posted this over the weekend. I thought this was cute. Acting president of Venezuela, incumbent January.
It is so funny. I thought that was Marco Rubio's job.
Oh my gosh, I know. Wait for the memes to come tomorrow. Marco Rubio now being the head of Greenland.
Oh my gosh, I think they're already out. He is.
Oh my gosh, guys, that is it for
These
open
memes
mic.
are
I know
funny.
we're gonna plug. I want to make sure we plug Liberty Cigars. Make sure you guys get out there and get. Not only are you supporting a great America First company, think about it. Liberty Cigars is pretty amazing. The owner, John Adams, right? Aly, is that? He's pretty cool. But you got to get out there and support people like us here on Open Mic. If you use promo code Open Mic, you save 10%. Is that correct, Aly?
Yes.
All right, I want to show my screen real quick because this is pretty amazing. So yeah, get out there and support Liberty Cigars. You can go to libertycigars.com
and follow them on social media. James is always posting incredible information, especially because we're celebrating 250th year. And so he's got some really amazing things that are coming out. So please make sure you follow, and share not just Liberty Cigars, but we're sponsored by Liberty Cigars. So we would love to.
What a great company. We're grateful to them. Make sure you guys follow Aly and I on social media, as well as at Open Mic Ladies. And if you'd like to reach out to us if you have a story idea or you just want to drop us a line, contact at openmicladies.com. Guys, that's going to be it for us today.
See you next time.
Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Bye.
From the heart of Marietta, Georgia, comes a tribute to the spirit of liberty. Liberty Cigars, where history meets craftsmanship. Each cigar tells a story. The Founders Collection honors the visionaries who shaped a nation. The President's House Collection celebrates the leaders who steered it. And the Naval Series salutes the heroes who defended it. Handcrafted with precision, each blend mirrors the essence of its namesake. From the boldness of George Washington to the elegance of Thomas Jefferson. Indulge in a moment of reflection. Light a Liberty cigar and savor the legacy. Discover your story at libertycigars.com, because every great nation deserves a great cigar. Liberty Cigars, smoke the history. And don't forget to use promo code OPENMIC for 10% off your order.